That's for Chris Greer. What is up, Fin fans? It's after 4 o'clock. I feel like it's safe for me to sit here and kind of talk about the trade deadline and what Chris Greer did, and Mike McDaniel, and the Dolphins organization. Screw it. Let's talk about them all. Miami Dolphins pull off another trade. They trade 2023 5th-round pick to the 49ers for Jeff Wilson, running back. Wilson reunites with head coach Mike McDaniel and former backfield mate Raheem Mostert in Miami. Mostert, Wilson, Dolphins' new 1-2 punch, being that Chase Edmonds is now with the Denver Broncos. I'm just going to pop this up. We all know how we feel about Chase Edmonds, right? I'm just going to pop this up real quick. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll cover my face. I just want you to watch. I just want you to watch and see a big difference between Chase Edmonds and Jeff Wilson Jr. Just watch this. Look at that. Well, we'll go back one more time. One more time. Yeah, one more time. Yeah. He can catch the football. Again, Chase Edmonds, you know, we had high hopes for you. No knock on you, but Jeff Wilson can catch the flipping football. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Bradley Chubb and his addition and what that means and stuff now that I could sit down and take a breath and really assess it. He is going to restructure his contract, and they're going to do a new contract with him. When that comes out, I will do a video on his contract restructuring and all that jazz and blee, blah, blue, blah, blah. But Chris, we got to give Chris, you know, a lot of people like to poo-poo on Chris Greer because of Noah Igbenogany and because of Liam Eichenberg and because of certain draft picks. Yes, he missed on. There's no getting around it. He missed on. But if you look at his draft history, even back when Tannenbaum and Gase were kind of in control of the team more than Chris Greer had control of the team, he hit more than he missed, right? Because you had the Charles Harrises, you had, you know, all these draft picks, but he hit more than he missed. He's a wheeler and dealer, right? He's the Ric Flair of GMs, right? Wheeling, dealing, SOB. Trey Lance trade that the Dolphins did where they traded back from the 3rd overall pick and the 49ers gave him 2 firsts and this and that and bling, blah, blue. Dolphins used that to draft Jalen Waddle. They used that to trade for Tyreek Hill, and they just used those picks to trade for Bradley Chubb, right? But if you look at take a little further step back and look at it, this is all because of the Laramie Tunsil trade. All of this is because of the Laramie Tunsil trade. Getting Tua Tagovailoa, getting, you know, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb. You look at the amount of wheeling and dealing this man did and the amount of players he added, all from the Laramie Tunsil trade. The Dolphins didn't win the Laramie Tunsil trade. They dominated the Laramie Tunsil trade to the point where it had, I think this is it. I think we're done, right? I think we're done with the Laramie Tunsil trade. I think the final pieces have been moved for the Laramie Tunsil trade with the Bradley Chubb trade. And I think Chris Greer has officially put the rest of his chips in for the Laramie Tunsil trade with this last move. If I had a hat on, I'd tip it. Here, I'll put this hat on. I'll tip it to you. I'll keep it on. Screw it. Keep it on. No editing. Going straight from my mouth to you guys. I love the Bradley Chubb move. Let's talk more about the Bradley Chubb move, right? Because I looked up some more advanced stats, right, from pass rushes. When it comes to when it comes to quarterback knockdown, you look at who's, you know, up there, Jalen Phillips, right? 29th ranked in the NFL in quarterback knockdown, right? You look at sacks, Bradley Chubb is 15th ranked. You look at pressures, Bradley Chubb is 13th ranked. So all of a sudden, you have a guy who's consistently knocking down the quarterback in Jalen Phillips, a guy who's consistently getting pressure, like I talked about in the film breakdown today. Go watch the film breakdown today. Consistently getting pressure on the quarterback. And now you're adding Bradley Chubb, who is also, again, 13th in the NFL in pressure. And that's not just on linebackers, outside linebackers, defensive ends, whatever. That's all front seven. All defense, he is 13th in the NFL. When it comes to linebackers or outside linebackers, he's second or third. You got Matt Judon is 1, Micah Parsons is 2, Josh Allen is 3, Zadarius Smith is 4, and then Bradley Chubb is 5. He's 5th in linebackers when it comes to getting pressure. When it comes to pass rushers, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. He's very good at getting after the quarterback. Now, there are things that worry us, right, when it comes to Bradley Chubb. Obviously, he's got a little bit of a nagging injury history. I talked about it when I talked about his trade. With 2019, he only played 4 games. Last year, he only played 7 games, right? But when he plays a full set of games, 2018, he had 12 sacks. 2020, he had 7.5 sacks. He's dangerous. He's already at 5.5 sacks, and he's halfway through the season. Got to stay healthy, right? That's the biggest thing, but that's the biggest thing with any NFL player. You got to stay healthy. Some people are upset that we traded a first for him. The 49ers are going to win some games. The 49ers are going to make the playoffs. If you look at the NFC West, 49ers are probably the best team there. Seattle's actually, I say Seattle and San Fran are probably the 2 best teams on the West right now. So San Fran, that's going to be a late first pick, that San Fran pick. And I'm just tired of rooting for him to lose. I have nothing against San Fran except for the fact we own their first round pick. Well, we should have owned our own, but we all know what happened there. But it's a late first. A late first for a top 10, top 15 pass rusher in the NFL. I'd say top 15 pass rusher in the NFL. Proven. We could take that first round pick and draft a corner or a pass rusher, offensive lineman. It doesn't mean that they're going to pan out. Bradley Chubb has already panned out. Bradley Chubb has already proven he can get the job done. So that's where I'm all right with the trade of the first round pick. It does suck that a second year in a row I'm going to be watching the first round of the draft, and that's going to be my reaction to that. We're going to be watching it to see who falls, because we got the second round pick and 2/3. So it's like, all right, who's going to fall to us? And we can still get talent with that second and 2/3. We could definitely get talent. But I love this move. I love the move of Wilson, and I love the move of Bradley Chubb. Now, the Dolphins didn't make a move for a corner, right? There were some corners. Where's my list? There were some corners like Sidney Jones, the 4th from Seattle. I honestly thought that the Dolphins were going to pull the trigger on that. There was William Jackson, the 3rd, who went to the Steelers for a 6th. They gave them a 7th, and they gave the Steelers a 7th, and the Commanders got a 6th. But William Jackson's contract is ridiculous, so they're going to have to restructure that in some way. And Greedy Williams is staying with the Browns. So I thought some type of cornerback move was going to be made. I honestly thought Sidney Jones was going to be coming to Miami, give him like a 4th or a 5th round pick. But I guess the Dolphins know more than we do, right? Byron Jones is really irking me. The fact that every week, every Monday, Mike McDaniel comes out and does a press conference, and he's like, he's not ready. And I'm like, March 9th, this man had his procedure. March 9th. That was now what? 8 months ago, give or take a day, a couple of days. Like, what's going on? Are you now? I'm like, are they slow playing them because Kader Kohu and Keon Crossan are actually playing really well? Like, what's going on there? You add Bradley Chubb, you add the pressure. You're not going to have your opposing quarterbacks have 3 to 4 seconds in the pocket. That might help the corners to jump interceptions and all that stuff. We needed to be able to get pressure on the quarterback without blitzing. And I feel like adding Bradley Chubb is able to get pressure on the quarterback without blitzing. So this move was a smart move. You know, it's a 3rd. What did I say? It's like a 3rd and a 4th, 3rd and a 5th. I'm first and a fourth, fourth and a fifth. I'm happy with this move because he has shown that he can do it, and he fits this 3-4 scheme that we're running. He's playing, outside linebacker. At one point, and again, we didn't move on from Emmanuel Ogbah. We didn't move on from Andrew Van Ginkel. So at one point, you can have on one side of the ball Emmanuel Ogbah with his hand down, Jalen Phillips with his standing up, and on the other side, you got Bradley Chubb standing up. Like, are you kidding me right now? Or you can flip it. You got Bradley Chubb and Emmanuel Ogbah on one side. You got Jalen Phillips on the other side. Like, hello? It's dangerous. And then when you go into a 4-3 scheme, you go to your nickel, your dime, or whatever, all of a sudden you got these guys with their hands in the dirt. Now all of a sudden Josh Boyer can start scheming some things up. And I'm a big critic of Josh Boyer, right? Especially after that the Lions game where I'm like, where's the pass rush? What is going on here? The defense hasn't changed. Let's see what he can do now that he's got Bradley Chubb. Now I'm really going to judge him because he did decent with not having any starting corners besides Xavier Howard. Now I want to see. But again, do they like Kader Kohu and Keon Crossan and Noah? Do they think that they're doing well enough and they can hold out 2 more weeks for the bye week for Byron to come back? Is Byron an 80% and can play, but they don't want to force it because they don't need to situation? I don't know. But all I do know is the addition of Bradley Chubb, the addition of Wilson, we got a nice 1-2 punch at running back. Wilson can catch the ball. I think if Edmonds didn't have as many drops as he did, I don't think they would have traded him. But I think the fact that he had so many drops and critical downs, and Mike McDaniel was probably like, Greer, if Wilson's available, the man can catch the ball, and I can really utilize him in this offense. I thought I could use Edmonds, but he's just not doing what we need him to do. Greer was probably like, I got you. I'll make the move. So, but these moves are showing that the Dolphins are a win-now team, right? The additions that they have on offense. We have the top 2 wide receivers in the NFL. We have a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. Top 15. I know there's going to be some in the comment section. And top 15 quarterback. Think what you want. I have eyes in my head. So does the rest of the world. Top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now. The offense is doing their job, especially with Tua behind the helm. It was the defense, especially against these Lions and in the start of the Ravens game, right? Now, all of a sudden, we can get pass rush. We make these opposing quarterbacks. You're playing Justin Fields on Sunday, a very mobile quarterback. You get in his face and you make him uncomfortable, he's going to be throwing interceptions. We've seen him. He's not very good when you get pressure on him. Then you got Jacoby Brissett. And I said Brissett on purpose. You get pressure in his face and you make him uncomfortable, yeah. And then you got Davis Mills after that, and yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo after that, and yeah. Justin Herbert, we see what he does when you got pressure in his face, and yeah. And then you got Josh Allen in Buffalo. Can't let that guy have all the time in the world. You got to be able to play a certain type of defensive scheme to beat Josh Allen. Yeah. So the Dolphins made a move to win now. The Dolphins made a move to continue to win and make the playoffs and potentially compete for the AFC East. Love the move. Love the aggressiveness. Like I said, when the contract breakdown comes out, I'll talk about it and see what the Dolphins did to save up cap space. And I'm pretty sure they're going to backload his contract because they have about $7 million cap space right now, so they can't really afford to give him a big fat contract right now unless they make it all signing bonuses. We'll see what he does. And then when the offseason comes, I'll talk about they're probably going to move on from Emmanuel Ogbah. They gave him a contract after a 9-year sack year, so they might be thinking, hey, he was something good there, and then he's just not performing so far. So we'll see how that all pans out. But other than that, I'm happy. Hope you guys are happy. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys tomorrow, unless more news breaks. But again, the trade deadline has passed, so I don't see any more news breaking. But I'll see you guys tomorrow in the picks. And then we got the preview. I got a Chicago Bears YouTuber coming on, helping me with the preview. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock, Miami Dolphins head into Chicago to take on the Bears. A lot of people ask me, why you say it like that? Go look it up. SNL Bears. And that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. Offense out.